Hi guys, welcome back to the first episode of season 2 of Cat Deep. So today I am joined by 3 guests, but I am going to keep their names anonymous just because of the nature of the conversation and the topic of this episode. So welcome guys, thank you guys for coming on. It's lovely to have you here.
I do.
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you guys?
Sweet as a
Yeah,
nut.
sweet.
Good, good.
You're all good.
So the first question I wanted to ask you guys is actually why you wanted to come onto this episode and what made you want to get involved and speak on this topic.
Obviously, you came to us on a level where it was like you wanted to change certain people's view, make it so that this don't seem like the limelight of the way society should be right now. Like, obviously, everyone's have the right to be free, but you're basically just trapped in your own little cube. That's the way it is, isn't it? It's to change, I think, younger sort of mindset, I guess. But that's it.
Yeah, going off what he said, just change everybody's mindset. Just to let the youths of today know, not only black, but mainly black, but you get what I mean. But just like change their views that there's more to life than the ends. When somebody said that to me, it just hit home and I started planning up and doing better things.
Yeah, it's like most man ain't even like traveled or anything. Like
Yeah,
they haven't even been on a plane and that. Most men I know some different types of stuff. So it's like to make people see that vision that there is more than just being from the block or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, agree.
Literally. Not to glamorize this lifestyle, and a lot of youths get into it for that the now kind of thing in it, but they don't think about the 20 years down the line kind of thing in it. So yeah, literally, if you can save someone making a mistake without having to take the experience, then why not?
Okay, fair enough. Do you guys know what the word exploitation means? Have you come across it before? You have,
Yeah.
And obviously, based on your experience, all 3 of you are here because you've experienced something that you are now trying to speak out about so that other people don't have to, or the younger generations don't have to make that same mistake. Do you feel like you were exploited at a young age? Do you feel like you were almost like a victim of exploitation and kind of like a product of your environment?
In a kind of way, yeah. From like the orders would be like, oh yeah, can you go shop for man or whatever, but that's just the start, innit? Like, so obviously when you're young, innit, the first thing that you'll do is just go shop or something like that. But you'll think, oh yeah, look, my mom don't even buy me these sort of things. Like man can't even get 10 sweets at one time. It's just the one sweet or whatever. But obviously you're young, like 8, 9. So then obviously from starting from then, and obviously my bro was also involved in certain things and things like that. So it's like kind of just grow into it. That's literally it. Depends where you're from, sort of thing, I guess.
What about you guys?
Well, for me, it was kind of like everybody around the ends was kind of around the same age. Like we didn't really have no elders. We did have a couple people who are older than us, but we didn't regard to them as like they didn't like send us shop or anything. It was more of a thing of the roads was a new job because at that age you can't get peas, like legal peas. You ain't got a bank account, so like your job was riding out, like, and yeah, when the thing continues, I'll get more into that. But your job was just riding out, and to be honest, it makes you into the man you are now. Still, like,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I'd say like man was like, you know when like people try and use like a favor as a reason to disrespect. So when you're younger and that, like my thing was like similar to him. I don't really have a lot of elders, but mine was like more like older cousins and that. So like, they'd ask me, oh yeah, just do this for me, da 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 da. And you know, you want your cousins' respect and to be seen as equal in their eyes when you're a young you and that. So I used to run with the thing until man got older, man got clued up, and the food chain itself, in a sense, sort of changes, innit?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm saying they sent man shop, but yeah, it's a thing where it's like
That's one of the
they're
things.
trying to make you seem like it's better for you, sort of thing, innit? Like they'll put you in a position where, yo, I'm doing this for you, sort of thing, but it's not really for you. Do you get what I mean? That's what I mean. It puts you in that sort of mind state from the get go. So like from a young age, you're already thinking, yo, bare people are doing this for man, you know, but you're not.
Well, that is
bullshit.
literally exploitation in a nutshell. Because when you think about, you're kind of influenced to certain behaviors to the benefit of others. So, you know, like sending someone to the shop or doing a little job for somebody, making you kind of feel like, you know, that you know, that you're included and you're a
Mm,
part of something. And
Mm.
9 times out of 10, you know, you don't see it as a gang, you kind of see it as a family or a group of friends
mm,
or whatever. But you said something really interesting when you were speaking about that. You said at the age of 8 or 9, that's a very young
Mm.
age. That's still a baby. And you also said, you know, at a younger age. So what kind of ages are we talking about? When is like the first time or that first point that you can remember that you were kind of exposed to any kind of criminal activity or any kind of like violent act or anything like that? Can you remember when like the first time
mm.
is?
Year 8, 04 times. So
Really?
when I'm new to secondary school, 'cause I started secondary school in 03. So
Wow.
yeah.
I'll probably say 11. Yeah, them sort of times. So. But it's more the fact that obviously I've got a brother in it, so my would have had violence from inside the household than going outside the household. So it's just normal like that. But yeah, all different types of stuff. So.
You're 11.
I would have said like year 7, year 8, so like 2005.
Wow.
Same thing, like seeing like a couple cousins that were neighbors as well, like see one of them get splashed up like on the way home by one of his guys kind of thing after he picked up. So it's a bit mad, innit?
Mm.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. Do you guys, now that you're older, do you realize that you were babies when you started this, you know, when you got involved in this lifestyle, when you were exposed to this lifestyle, you were still babies. I mean, thinking of your, you know, little cousins or some young people that some of you now work with, or, you know, siblings, or some of you have kids. Do you realize how young that was, and how does that make you feel?
To be honest, it's like yeah, like to be honest, back then you're not really thinking in it.
Mm,
You're not really thinking. You're like to me, I thought I was the man on the roads, like untouchable. Like, like my area where I was from was notorious,
mm,
and we just thought like if something happens to one of the man them, we're quick to retaliate, Like we can't go to man's ends if man will go to your school or college or where workplace or whatever, and do our
mm,
thing. But yeah, as you got older now, you're realizing that, bro, that was stupid, that was
Mm.
dumb. But if there was more opportunities like there is now,
mm.
back then, I don't think the roads wouldn't exist.
More time is
Like,
bro, you're doing it for, and my man wouldn't even do it for you, bro.
yeah. But the worst thing,
Half the time.
what what I try to relate to, because everybody's got their story. Everybody's
Of course.
like the real people who are like they don't want to do it, but they have to do it to
Mm,
by any means to get stuff like for your family, provide for your family. Like you might be going through bare things, like so you just think, yeah, I got to do this to
mm,
survive and support,
mhm,
or it's gonna affect me big time, like, mentally and all that. So
mm.
Mm.
What do you think? How does that make you feel?
Well, obviously, like, man's the oldest out of my brothers, so like, I've made mistakes and gone through certain experiences so that they don't have to. So that like my younger twin brothers or siblings and all that, they're like polar opposites to me, innit? And it feels good knowing that they still got that innocence in a sense, innit? Car, like he said, everyone's got their own story, everyone's got their own burdens
Mm,
and all of that. So it's not a glamorized thing. Those who have to do it because that's all they can do, they don't
mm,
over glamorize it. And those that ain't really doing the thing, well, they're the ones that are glamorizing the thing the most because
mm,
they ain't taking them certain
True
L's
still.
in it. So
mm.
when you feel that, oh, you understand, like you're not gonna go out there and promote
It
that.
all makes you humble
Mm.
Yeah,
still.
man, literally.
Humble as you.
For sure, man.
fair enough. So, you know, you said that, you know, back in the day, you didn't have those kind of opportunities.
Mm.
That's why you did what you did. So, why do you think youth of now, and, you know, the kids nowadays, they have the opportunities now and they still engage in that kind of activity and they still get involved and you know, and they still do the things that maybe not as bad as you guys did back in the day, or sometimes even worse? What do you think now is the reason for the engagement and the involvement of?
Straight clout,
Clout.
literally.
Wait, am I allowed to swear?
You
Yeah.
can do.
Okay, cool. A bunch of pussies. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, reason why I say that is because we now got phones where we can communicate with each other, and like a job might be advertised or something, or you can do like voluntary work, even though everybody wants to make bread and that. Like, there's always something out there to do in it. So, and I wish like we had. That's why I said I wish we had that back in the day, because we had that back in the day, probably be in a better position than I'm already at. So yeah, I just think there's a bunch of pussies on road, like as you were saying, for clout. Um, like, man, them are not thinking, like, I'm sure these two can vouch for it. It's like, man, them are not thinking about their families and shit, like, because you're just thinking, yeah, I'm the man, but at that age, you're not getting big income that's gonna pay for a funeral or some shit like that. That's what people are not thinking of. So, or not thinking about the hard work that your parents are putting in, but if they come out and bail you out of the police station or come see you at the hospital, or touch wood, they're coming to us, say, oh, this is your son's body or something. Like, that's dead. Just go and do something. Enjoy your life. Like, there's more to it.
It's all different. It depends what everyone's situation is.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
what
if
it is.
someone's individual,
Yeah.
like someone got down their brethren or some family member that they're very close with or something like that, because not every family member is close to you. Like, you got different relationship with everyone.
Yeah,
So it's
100%.
like, depending on who you're with, and who you roll with, obviously, if something happens to someone that's around you, then that's when you're gonna react, because you feel that that's it's like it happened to you. Do you get what I mean? So then that sort of doing, like, my situation is, my bro was obviously who he was, so a lot of things would have come off the back end of him. So like, when he went jail, people would jump out on me. Do you get what I mean? So my situation would be different. So then I would just obviously have to stand up for myself from them sort of situation. So my name just got brought into it. That's how it was. So I just got brought into this stuff. But it's like, going through that, don't get me wrong, I grew up a lot faster than bare these other youths, if that makes sense, because half of these other youths were just doing it because their mum was like, oh, I can't buy you this one time. And it's the one time that their mum gonna buy it. My mum couldn't afford to buy bare this stuff, you know. So I'll just be like, oh, okay, I'm coming home now. See on my bed, she's got one brick Primark top or something like that. Just different things like that. But then another youth's got these Air Jordans or something like that. We all come from different families, but you can talk like you're a lot better than man, but you're not, trust me. And then next thing you know, these lot are bare humble when you're actually sticking it all over them. But that's where the pride and all of that comes from, because then that's where they start getting into it and they're a bit excited about who they are and things like that, because now this person can't even talk shit to me no more, so I could just do this to all these other people and it's the same thing. Then you take it to the roads and then it's the exact same thing. But yeah. Depends.
Okay, so a lot of it is to do with money and not being able to afford certain things and stuff. So okay, so if you think, that's one of the main reasons, so when you're out there and you're doing, whatever it is that you have to do, like you said, to survive or to be able to get the things that other people have, at the back of your head, do you not think about, where that could lead to? Because
Take
it's
the
small
risk.
little.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, for real.
Take risk and prosper.
There's no risk without reward.
No risk without reward, because you're not the consequences already. But you're thinking, and then once you like, I don't know about these two, but I always had that feeling where, like, my mum's religious, innit, pro Christian, and like she would always be like, pray before you leave the house, innit, and I'm like, bro, man said a prayer, and I'm gonna do this, but then you're not. Then once you step out the house, you feel you're a completely different person, innit, because your family see one side to you, the Rose is gonna see a complete different side to you. So you're out there, you're doing your thing. Like, and then once you've got rid of that risk and you're getting the rewards, which is the peas, you're thinking, but if that goes wrong and you've got feds on your back or you've in handcuffs, you're just thinking to yourself, yeah, that's it, is what it is. This is part of the game.
So then when you step out there and you're saying, your family sees one side and the road see another side to you, when you're on road, and how did you get your money, without going into too much detail?
I
Because,
wouldn't be completely like, my family saw a different side. Like, if my mum, don't get me wrong, my mum would have seen like little, uh, just little bits. You get what I mean? It was just a little part of the overall
who you
picture, if
really
that
were.
makes sense. So, like, and obviously when I come home, I speak to my bro the same way that I'd speak to someone outside. You get what I mean? But then the same way with my mum, I just thought with women you have more respect. You get what I mean? So I was just more respectful to women. Like, I would never rob a nine or anything, but I'd rob
Mm.
people that was in the game. Do you get what I mean? If
Mm.
you was in the game, you was a part of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Except one time, I probably did something which was different, but that wasn't a woman. Do you get what I mean? That was a
Mhm.
grown man, and he
Okay.
just looked rich, so that's what it is.
Okay. So when you say, so for example, robberies, I'm assuming one of the ways that you kind of make money on road. Do you not then think, robberies can lead to other things because it's disrespect, it's violation, blah, blah. I'm sure if touchwood, if you got robbed, you would feel like you have to come back or whatever. Do you not think about your mum? Like this could lead you to death. Someone could kill you for robbing the wrong person.
Mm.
Do you not have to think about if I do this one act because of pride, respect, violation, whatever the reason is, my mum might have to come to this place and pick my body up off the ground.
But then it's the same thing. Like if I make 500 bags, then I can buy my mum a yard. You know what I mean? It's
That's
the
it.
same aspect of that.
Literally.
It's just,
So you might be thinking about all of the bad things that could come from this,
Mm.
but some people are focusing on the good things that will come
Mm.
from
For
it.
real.
So it depends who you're dealing with. Like it's literally that. Don't get me wrong. Like if you've got someone who's on to you that comes to your yard every single day, so you're gonna have to do what you have to do. Do you know what I mean? That's
Mm-mm.
bro. You're at my yard every single day, you know. So I've got to react. Like I literally have to react to make sure that you can never come to my yard again, sort of thing.
Mm.
So it's a thing where you try and do things more permanently, but it depends how you kind of picture the whole situation or you're trying to deal with it. It's all your sort of gains. Do you get what I mean? So if you're saying, oh yeah, look, I'm actually trying to do this in the long run, which is buy my mum a yard and so on, then you're looking at the long run, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Not really focused on what's here happening here and all.
Mm.
But it's also like if you was to buy a business, you take that risk. And most people, there's probably 99% of the population who ain't in on trying to buy a business because they're scared to take that risk, but they have the money though. But
Mm.
then we don't even have the money or the chance to even do that. So then we're looking for the way to do that. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
Mm.
So it's really you're doing things so that you can stop doing those
Yeah, that's
things,
Yeah.
basically it.
basically.
You got a graph
But
now, so you can show
Graph
later,
now.
kind of thing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like the musicians. Like you're seeing a lot of musicians who come from that background, and they're actually now it's like, okay, I can stop doing that. Music's taken over my life. That's it.
Mhm.
But obviously, if they have brethren who are doing it,
Mm.
like, and their brethren see that particular individual doing this thing, they're gonna be like, yeah, man, I need to push. He come from the same kind of thing, and he continued. Now he's doing this thing.
Mm.
I can get paid for rapping or thing because now the industry's starting to accept the whole hood shit. What's the new genre of
all
music?
drills
Drill,
all
all
out
the
there
drills
now
and
and
all
all
that.
that.
But
Yeah.
to me, I feel that drill music has been there from years back. I'm talking grime. Grime to me is drill, innit? Because everybody used to chat the most
Mm.
violent stuff on certain grime tracks. And as time got along, like music just started perfecting, UK music started perfecting itself, and now they started taking interest in a lot of rappers who are actually about it. Some
Mhm.
are not, but some who are actually about it, who deserve the recognition, and that's something. Or like showing a way like you're getting a job or something,
Mhm.
like stuff like that. Like it's a way out.
Do you think
But even
drill?
having a job though,
Even a
sometimes
job
I'm
is
not
a
even
way out.
gonna lie to you, bro. The whole job thing for me as well.
You
I
know what?
worked since like 14, 16. And these times, even the job thing, they don't pay you enough. So
No, a job will
what's
They
never
really
pay you
violate the
enough.
thing for
yeah?
real.
100.
So then half the time, especially when you're obviously black or whatever, yeah,
Mm.
you're coming from a background where you're not
Mm.
really straight away put into that limelight in your
Mm.
job anyways. You're already looked down upon. So
Mm.
basically just it's the same sort of thing. No matter where you're at work, no matter where you're at home, no matter when you're on the streets, no matter where you are, the same thing. So that's why you just gotta get over it. It's that you might as well just say the streets is always gonna be the same. So
Mm.
just go forward and just prosper, bro. Just do your own thing. Stop thinking about all of these other people. Stop trying to do stuff for other people. Start focusing on yourself. But don't get me wrong, it's good to obviously if an old woman's walking across the road now, struggling with bags, do your thing, go help her, man. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I would say count it and do your one deed a day or
Mm.
whatever, but
Mm.
you're not meant to count how many deeds you do. But
Mm.
obviously, you just kind of move
Mm.
different. That's your way. Like, I respect people now if they're an OG and then telling someone, "Yo, you gotta fix up, man. You can't
Mm.
be acting like this, rah rah rah."
Which is
Because
basically what you're doing now.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Almost.
I'll let other people
I
do
think
that.
I
I
think
don't want
that's
to do
me.
the fame and the
Yeah.
limelight. Yeah, like I'd rather someone else
Mm-mm.
be the person who does it, innit? I'll do it behind the closed doors because I can't handle cameras. But yeah, that's literally it, I guess.
Mm.
So,
I'm glad you said that because
Mm.
that kind of brings me to, the initial title, which took me ages to kind of think about for this episode. And that's why it's kind of, gangsters in quotations have feelings too, because I wanted to ask you guys this question. How does that make you feel? Like you said, you're already kind of looked down upon, whether you're from a disadvantaged kind of like family background or because you're peers. How does that genuinely make you feel now that you're kind of older and you see what's going on in the world and how youths are treated and, you've kind of experienced it yourself as well? How does that make you feel that you always have to do that extra bit of work or, you have to do that little bit more to kind of get the same kind of respect as somebody who's from a better background?
I use it as fuel to like fuel me, to be honest, innit? 'Cause
Mm.
I've worked many different jobs, whether it's retail or sales or whatever, and no matter how talented you are, yeah,
mm,
it's like they like people in the industry in it, yeah, they allow these four walls and their little titles and all of that to they get lost in that cloud for a
Mm,
second.
mm,
Mm-mm.
So it's like they forget that outside of these four walls, there's a completely different universe out there.
mm,
Understand? And there's a different laws out there. You understand? So they forget that, but and they try. It's almost like, are you gonna bite or are you gonna, you understand, firm it and
Mm.
just keep moving in that in it car. You can't take every battle that comes your way because if you do, by the time you get to the finish line, you ain't even got the energy to celebrate or enjoy.
Mm.
mm,
And
Mm.
as like man them grow older, I'm sure you man can relate as
mm,
well. Being a you to now, it's like as you get older, you start to see life from a bit more of a bird's eye perspective. Whereas when you're young, it's more of a first person narrative. Like all you can see is the here and now. You can't see any consequences beyond that
mm.
until you get beyond that. You understand? So
mhm,
that's what I'd say with the industry thing.
When you're young, I believe that you only know as much as your parents know. So, like, until you actually explore yourself and see whatever else is out there, you feel trapped, I guess. And then once you get older, you're like, yeah, that man can actually get out there and go do this. I can go do that.
Mm-mm.
And then
mhm,
when you start thinking like that, that's when you actually start prospering.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
literally it.
As you going off what he said, the same kind of thing, like working many jobs, that it just motivates you, innit? Especially when you're seeing like other black male role models like who are older than you. They've been there, been in similar
Mm,
situations, and they're telling you a lot of stuff. And one thing, one guy, I won't say his name, told me, come out your comfort zone. I didn't understand that.
yeah,
I
that's
didn't
mindfulness.
understand that until I was sitting in a meeting with him, and then what do you call it? One of the people there was saying that these youths of today they're not willing to come out their comfort zone. And then he looked at me and I was like, why are you looking at me? And then he kicked me and said, you remember me telling you that a couple years back? I was like, all right, now I understand. So that's literally something that I use in my day-to-day thing. So that's what if people like, because people think the streets is cool in it. No, it's not cool. Like checking your shoulder 24/7.
Mm,
Like even when your mumsy checking your shoulder 24/7. Like I used to think, like to me, I used to think that was. I used to be like, bro, like, man's wanted. I'm an OG. Like I used to be like, yeah,
mm,
man want me, and but it's not cool because I remember times being with my parents or my younger siblings be like, and then people are watching me, and then once they see that I'm alone, I'm getting dipped down, or man are trying to come to the ends, trying to do the thing, but and then
or
it doesn't
certain
end
man
with,
even still have it where their parents and family are there. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, you get me.
It's like every single individual is different.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, you have your fun times and that. You enjoy yourself every now and again. Or you're with the man them and then you go and meet some girls and do your thing and then literally that's it. But then when you're just back at your yard the next day and you're like, oh shit, I was meant to do this and this and this the next day.
mhm,
And you're just slumped the whole day. You're like, oh, what was that really for? Like, man, even crashed
Mm-hmm.
this car and
Mm.
it was
Mm-hmm.
that. And then you're laughing about it like a month later because you're young and you can just laugh about things. But when you get older and you got to pay for stuff and sort out things and all of this, like, there's bare man that I know that are in debt, but will move like that. They still have bare peas. I know bare man who buy clothes and have probably minus 10,000 in their credit account or whatever. Do you get what I mean?
mhm,
Because they got like 4 credit cards. things like this, but just because they want to jump on the bandwagon,
Mhm.
they end up getting further and further. But you'll
Mhm.
just never know this because it's their private stuff. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
that's literally it. Like, you're not gonna enjoy it. You might as well go and start your own business sort of thing and start moving a
100%.
bit
Yeah.
small. Because like if you even getting a job and then that boss then goes, "Oh, cool, I'm never gonna let this person reach this level." You don't know that you're still working and doing extra things and so and
Mm.
so, but he's already got his mindset that he's never gonna let you prosper. So you just gotta kind of think to yourself, yeah, look, I need to get out of this and just start investing in myself. That's
Sure.
what I'd say your biggest investment is in yourself. So
Mm.
literally start focusing on that.
Yeah.
Bro, touching on what
100%.
you said, stalker, like even as a younger, yeah, like when you're growing up in your teens or like early 20s and that, yeah, it's like boom, when you're going through certain things or you take an L and all of that, sometimes the company you keep will thrive on that, you know what I'm saying? Like when
Mm.
like say you take a violation or something, man, and then you tell
Big
your
man,
boys
yeah,
about
yeah.
it,
They're
Just
and
ready.
then
as
they
a just
play
as
they
a
play
thing
on
to
it
happen
until
as
Mm.
they
well.
see a reaction out of you kind
Mm.
of
Mm.
thing. And you're thinking, yeah, my guy's not letting me take a vow. But really and truly, once you've dealt with it, you see that, hold on a sec, my man was just trying to draw me out and keep me within a certain place. But like when you got certain people that want you to be more than you are kind of thing, it's like if you're gonna do your thing, they're there with you in it. They won't force it,
Mm,
you understand, but they give you what you need to hear when you need to hear it, kind of thing, you understand?
mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
they don't give you the fuel to destroy yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's more the smart advice
Mm.
yeah,
rather
Mm.
bro,
than the
because
shit
it's
advice.
like when you take certain man out of the ends, because all they know is ends. When you take
Mm,
man them overseas or even just a quick damn trip or a little Spain or something, cheap little holidays and that, and they see that there's more to the world than just, you know what I'm saying? Be
that's
it,
the same with the bro that you thought
Mm.
was on stuff, and then
yeah,
you've
bro,
taken him out the ends, and then he's out the ends. That bro's on to you, you know.
you know what I'm
Like,
saying?
yo, look, oh, where do we go? Like, what do we do? You don't
Literally,
know
cause
nothing.
Mm.
yeah, man.
And that's
Okay.
so true.
Which is kind of what you said as well about the
Mm.
whole, being able to take yourself out of your comfort
Yeah,
zone
that's
and
it. That's what it literally is.
mm.
Like,
And also you mentioned, sorry to cut you. Also
yeah,
you
go.
mentioned about having kind of positive role models. Did you guys have back in the day, kind of when you were,
Mm.
either deeply involved or when you were kind of blinded by that kind of, road image? Did you guys have
Mm.
role
Mm.
models? And
Yeah,
if
I
you
had role
did, do you kind of
models.
remember who you were looking up to in a way?
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
You do? Do you want to share it?
Obviously my pops, number one. Um, the guy I was talking about, he's like a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
and my PE teacher.
Really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
my pops, because obviously coming from back home, Africa, not gonna say which part. Obviously they're blowing up, but I'm joking. Ghana, big up Ghana.
Mm,
Um, come from Ghana and just done his thing, like, and then brought my mum here, done his thing. But rewinding forward, that obviously when I put him in certain situations, that after school I wouldn't come home.
Mm.
So my pops is getting told that your son is out on road doing etc. He didn't believe it until he witnessed something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remember being on the block with all the man them. There was girls, and obviously all them African stories you used to hear about when man are getting slapped up in front of the man them. Yeah, I was one of them. My dad just come out and just boxed me up in front of all the man them, saying, "Get in the car. Who do you think you are? Pull your trousers up," and then yeah, things like that. This just straight and narrow. And obviously the worst thing, like, it's kind of a regret at the same time, because he reminded me the other day where like there was a little shootout, like the ops as people call it, came down to the ends and then started shooting, and then my dad's car was parked in the middle of it. He was
Mm.
in it, and then it was a thing where, do I jump in or do I run off? So I jumped in and then we whizzed off, and then obviously that's when I started thinking about, what do I do next? I don't want to put my people in this scenario.
mm,
But
Mm.
like, your mind's all over the place. You're young, so you're just gonna get back out there
Mm.
and do whatever. So yeah, that's my, like, pops has always been there for man. And what do you call it? The mentor, because he's been through that kind of life, innit? And
Mm-hmm.
like he just come to every notorious area within the borough and like just started showing, man, this is the way. This
Mm-hmm.
is what you want to do. Like, this is the way. And then obviously his type of work inspired man and that. So yeah. And PE teacher, same kind of thing. Like, he was a Jamaican guy and he was just doing amazing things. Like, got man, like, you know how, like, I don't know if you man agree, but I would say that every man on the roads goes through some sort of mental health. Has
Yeah,
like some sort of mental health issue in
but
it.
they don't know it all
They
the
don't
time.
know it in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, for me, I think that I had ADHD at that time as well as depression. So
More time you got PTSD as well.
yeah, so it's just that
Desensitized as well. And that.
yeah, but I had something to follow up on that, something to ease that. Like I had sports where I could just do. I'm a sporty guy, so like, I had ball. Then I had going to the gym. When I started to say, bro, I need to get stronger, so started going to the gym more often, and now that's like a whole stress reliever. Like my whole day's cool. Like I can do what I want. So yeah, man,
Nice.
those the role models.
What about you guys? Do you have role models?
There was a PE teacher once again as well. Like he showed man that whole transmutation, that energy. Like no matter what you feel, put it into something else. So you can put it into, you can release
Exactly.
it. You can like man does the MMA thing. You know what I'm saying, and the kickboxing thing. And I found that like this is a different thing. Car you can take a lot of man off the road and take the whaps out their hand, take the shank out their hand, yeah, and put them in the cage, innit? Yeah, and as men, we've got a lot of pride, a lot of ego in it, yeah. And when you make a man feel like he's been drawn out, yeah, he will go back to that because he wants to win on his terms. You know what I'm saying? So if you take a man that's, let's say, splashed up 20 man in the ends, yeah, but you take him into the ring and he gets moved to by a nerd, he will come back there because that's what he wants to conquer now. You know what I'm saying? He can't sit with that L in his head, innit? Other role models, I'll probably say will be parents in it, car. In this life, there's no actual guidebook to doing this thing right, innit? Like your parents got their own struggles. You got siblings and that you ain't the only you, but they do what they can while they can, innit? So it's like always look up to them because they never allowed life to break them. So what excuse do we have in it? You know what I'm saying? They come from no tech, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've got tech and that, you know what I'm saying? We come from, if we want to go chat to our nan, you know, however far away she is, cool, we can do that. Parents' generation, it's a letters thing. You don't know if your family overseas or in countries, all right, you just got to hope and pray and them things, innit? So yeah, I'd probably say parents, couple school teachers and that made all the difference, innit? Little things there could have been very different. And out of all my siblings, I got beat the most, like, you know what I'm saying? Like man's up
Yeah,
as
you
well,
was
innit?
first, so
Man,
obviously
yeah,
you're
bro. Man
basically the role model,
I
isn't
got
it? You
more
are.
beatings than all my siblings put together.
Trust me,
yeah.
I've been there.
And
been there.
man still used to come back to school and smoke in it. And no matter what I'm doing in school or whatever, like either man them like or teachers, if they will see me wilding out or bug out, all they gotta do is like, yo, I'm calling your mum. And man's on a nah, like, cause man's not gonna hit my march. You know what I'm saying? And that's my mentality even with the fighting thing. Like man used to be a youth getting slapped with wooden spoons, belts, anything in her hand, fam, like Neo from the Matrix. But so if I can survive that as a youth, what have I got to fear against someone standing across me with gloves and that, you know what I'm saying? I'm all smoke, man. So yeah, that's my mentality for life, thanks to that, innit?
So big up the parents and all the school teachers then.
Literally.
How about you? Do you have any role models?
I wouldn't say, when you say role model, you mean someone you want to be like or something like that? Or do you mean you take certain aspects off of that person and then think?
It could be either or. Someone that you look up to, someone who motivates you, keeps you in the straight and narrow.
Because like, obviously, I'll say, yeah, my parents were strong on that, but there are certain situations which I just wouldn't want to be a part of, that sort of thing when I'm growing up, sort of thing. But then again, obviously, there was one time where I was just popping, and then I looked in to the right, and then there was just like a European property, like estate agents. So I just went in, but then straight away, like the guy was Jamaican, and my man just drew me in, and he was just like, "Come sit down, bro, bro, bro." And then obviously he just sees that I had an interest in it. And he just sat there and spoke to me for like an hour and a half. And I was just literally there just speaking to him back, like just saying, bro, I don't want to be here like this, I don't want to be from London or wherever, do you get what I mean? And he just gave me the whole view of just moving abroad, like, and obviously that was just something different for me where I was growing up. It was a whole different sort of situation. So I took that in. And now, obviously, everything that I'm doing now is to obviously take in and then move abroad. And then once I'm set little businesses up here, start my thing here, then I'm looking to go away. But then other people are just so used to being here, they wouldn't have even got that view, do you know what I mean? To move abroad and be somewhere else. And I guess, yeah, so he kind of stuck, man. But yeah, my parents are strong in that. They got past and through whatever they got through and so on and so. But obviously in terms of when they grew up, they was drinking heavily and little things like that. Innit? So
Okay.
them sort of times I wouldn't want to follow, but I'll learn from it. Innit?
Hmm.
So I'll see.
I hear you. So apart from the fast cash, the fast money, what do you think is so attractive to people? What attracted you to the kind of lifestyle in the streets and everything else, apart from the aspect of, having fast cash and making fast money?
weren't even sorry,
No,
but
you
weren't
go.
even seeing that. Obviously, for me, I grew up with my brethren, and we all grew up playing football or just going to the park, and then it was
Mm,
just a thing where like you're growing up in a state, and then everybody just grew. Oh, we're from the same area. Then once you get to secondary school, you're meeting other people who are from the same area, and you start mingling with each other. Then it just gets to that, or you might have individuals who don't even live in the ends like that, but they always come down, and then they start. We just form a brotherly team, and then to everyone it's a gang, which it
mm,
basically is, and then yeah, it just goes
Half the
from there.
time it ain't even that though. Like to them it is, but you gotta look at like, look, yeah, there's two men who go to the pub,
Mm,
and then someone picks on one of his mates,
yeah,
and then my man then stands up and says, "You can't talk to my mate like that,"
yeah,
and so
hundred
on. So
percent.
it's the same as that.
Yeah,
Half the time it's the exact same as that. So then you're getting classed as a gang, but you want to
mm,
call it a gang because it's a group of five who always are together or so and
Mm.
so. It's only the gang thing is literally when someone decides to put a name and then literally everyone has to beat up this you or whatever to be a part of that.
mm,
Mm.
Obviously, man never wanted to be a part of that. I was
yeah,
more like, I'm an individual. I do things for myself, rah,
Mm.
rah, rah. But at the same time, like people wanted me to be in with what they was dealing with.
mm, mm.
But it just like I just don't think we was created to this whole gang imitation or whatever they want
But
to call it. But
uh,
mm,
I don't think half the time it is.
the
I
reason
think it's just a brother relationships
going
or
going off what you just said is that like, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong or right,
mm,
but ri- but it's a thing where like the reason why this is the first time I've ever said this like an actual gang. Like when I
mm,
deep everything, because some people are taking their actual road name or estate name, yeah,
mm,
and then it's just a thing where like okay, what are you classified to the hierarchy? The hierarchy as in society.
mm,
What does society look at you like? Because what you're trying to come off the road and be part of society, be part of
yeah,
something in society. So you're gonna look at it like, oh, raw. To you, because you know the rules, you're gonna look at it like, oh, they're just a bunch of friends. Or, but now as time's going on, you're just thinking, yeah, bro, it's a gang. You understand what I'm saying? Where
mm,
I'm coming from. So it is kind of. I understand where you're coming from. It's a gang. It's not a gang, and it is, but to society, because we don't mean shit to them until we actually make something of ourselves. Does that make
Mm.
sense? You get
mm.
me? You get where I'm coming from. So
Just half of them ain't even made something of
yeah.
themselves.
So and especially if you like once you make something of yourself,
Mm,
like and you're doing well, then it's a thing where like raw, like people are like, yeah, man, they're on the bandwagon.
mm,
Like I'm in a completely different world to some of my boys. Like when
mm,
my boys see me, they're out like and they might see me on Snapchat, they're saying, bro, like one of my brothers said something during COVID. He's like, bro, why you out with this waste, man? What's he doing for you, bro? I was like, bro, one, he's doing something positive with himself. He's good vibes,
mm,
and he's making bread. I'm sure you want to make bread, and we
mm.
all want to make bread legitly.
Yeah, of
So
course.
why not be
Mm.
part of that? And
mm,
when he told me what he wants to get involved in, and I was like, bro, that waste man you're talking about, he's involved in what you want to do, bro.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So
now he feels like a waste man.
you get me? And I told him straight. So you're a waste man. You're a waste man straight. If that's the thing, because what would you want to trap on the block all the time?
Mm,
Or do you want to go out there?
mm. Yeah, like growing up now, obviously everything's about credit and gotta
Yeah,
start
man.
thinking
Yeah, yeah.
wiser,
Got
innit?
to start thinking
But
wise.
all of this
Mm.
cash money, all of that shenanigans, you don't need to stop thinking about it in general. Like that's
mm,
how I think to the youngers now, sort of thing. Like obviously it's all digital. You got Bitcoin, you got gold, you got silver, and things that you need to start looking into investing. But at the moment, still people are looking into even buying jewelry. You could buy a gold bullion and you want
Mm,
to go buy jewelry. Why do you want to buy jewelry? Why don't you just buy the solid thing, spend 5 bags, have the whole bar for 100 gram or a whole 100 gram bar, and then you're good. You get what I mean?
mm,
And then stock your thing ashore. And then off the back end of that, when money goes down and things like that, then gold and all of that's rising. So it's better to start thinking that sort of way rather than, yeah, let me chill with my 5, 6 friends and start going and doing bullshit, because you're not getting nowhere. You ain't buying houses, you ain't buying watches, you ain't even then buying the watches thing. Half the people are selling the watches cheaper because they didn't get the box and things with them and that, or they're not even the right what they thought they were to be. Do you know what I mean? So it's like just people just got to start thinking smarter in
Yeah,
general.
100%. 100%.
All three of you sound very much business minded to me, and it seems like you kind of, if you haven't already, you want to make it out the hood, and you're doing what you're doing to kind of be somebody. Where do you see yourselves in 5-10 years time?
5, 10 years time. Hopefully doing something back home in Ghana, as well as doing something over here.
That's where all the jewels are, man. Literally.
Yeah, so yeah, like literally doing something big, just making my family proud, making them feel like, raw, coming to England for 20+ years was actually worth it. You understand? Because obviously they're starting to get to that mindset. Like after my pops told me, son, remember what that guy told you coming out your comfort zone? So yeah, that was literally it.
Yeah, some places I think the way you're taught is like you shouldn't be sending money back home. You get what I mean? Like, or
Really?
like, no, I mean like in general, I'm talking about the English sort of
Oh
mindset.
yeah.
Is like, oh, people come here and send money back home. So that's the way to live. Like, if you actually think it's smart, you're getting because all you do in England is work.
Yeah, 100%. That's
like,
it.
Get a property abroad and that, man.
Yeah, so everything should be try and invest where you want to be free. You get what I mean?
100.
Like you're trying to live life to the means of free people who stand above you. When once you move and you go and do whatever you want to do, they're not there no more. So half the time, for the people who feel like they don't have a choice, I guess they should start thinking, oh look, these people ain't always there no more. Like I could just get out of this and go move. They will never see me again. You get what I mean? Because that's your choice then. Like you've literally given yourself that choice. So it's up to how you sort of take it. Like whatever you take is how you project it yourself. You get what I mean? So take it in and then give them just as much fuel back, and then go and move abroad yourself.
So you're basically just wanting to make legal money, being able to put it towards something that's going to
Don't get
set
me
you
wrong
in.
though. I do think this kind of makes you business minded though. Like that sort of background makes you not really want to answer to anyone, and then also want your own company
Want to be your own
because that's
boss.
what it was. You get what I mean? You start off in school selling cookies or something like that. Simple as that. I
Sweets.
don't know if
The
you
top
man
shop
are
Yeah,
there.
selling
like, man,
sweets,
people like
whatever.
buying cookies and
Selling
yeah,
sweets,
bare
whatever.
sweets.
Literally,
Yeah.
fam.
But literally, you'll start like that, and the next thing you know, even man's getting their cookies robbed and things like
Yeah,
this,
for
and then
real.
next thing you know, you're doing the same thing. Some of the time you're not even paying for the cookies, and you're thinking, yeah, look,
Free
man's
re-up.
made 100% pro, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But that's literally it.
Like growing up, like you said, growing up with that background can, like, because that helped me be like very, very efficient in sales. You know what I'm saying? Because man knows how to sell anything in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one can tell me that this price ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And if that price ain't right, I'll reword it. You know what I'm saying? To entice them even more. You know what I'm saying? Even let them touch it. You understand? Like, I read the body language and that. But like 5, 10 years, man, want it like something similar to him. I like to inspire some sense of change, like back home and
Yeah,
that, innit?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like I want to first commit to myself, because all you can do in this life is commit to yourself. That's what you can control. So I hopefully get my degree once I commit to myself, then you know what I'm saying, take it further and that, innit, car. If you can commit to yourself with any venture, whether it's a business or whether it like to be honest with you, yeah, even these youths that do this thing, innit, yeah, like I said, man, don't force no one to do whatever, and everyone has a choice, everyone lives their life. But if you're gonna do it, be about your business, you understand, and just be on point. That's all I ever say. You know what I'm saying? Car. You do it, you go ham, and you can jump off in a year or two if you know what like you're doing, innit? You know what I'm saying? You can go from boxes to puppies and that.
Yeah,
Because dogs are
'cause
expensive, you know what I'm saying? So there's dogs out there that cost more than certain man's reloads. You know what I'm saying? But man, they don't know that until you show them that. You get me? So yeah, man, it's the company you keep.
100%.
And blind can't lead blind. We were all blind at one time, you know what I'm saying? But got some light shined on us, you know what I'm saying? We've got mothers out there that pray for us. So yeah, literally. Yeah, mate.
So what would you say to somebody who, is at that, let's say year 7, year 8, year 11 kind of stage, and finds that kind of image attractive, and You know, they're out there for the fast money and not working for nobody and not wanting to listen to anybody's, do this, do that. What's something that you would say to that
You know
person,
what?
having your
Slow
experience and the
money
mindset
lasts
you
more
have
than
now?
fast money is what I'd probably tell them
Mm.
still.
I'll tell them a couple points still. Like, one, stay in school.
Mm,
2, find your passion,
mm,
and let where your parents come from motivate you.
mm,
Not even if your parents want, like, or your family,
mm,
like what, like, reason why I say that is because with my parents, they had enough in it. They just thought this guy's getting thing, and I got arrested for something really mad that I could have gone down for, and they just said, nah, this is too much. Sent man back home to Ghana. Like, I was at the airport, man are telling me 2 weeks. 2 weeks ended up being a whole 6 weeks holiday. I was barling. Then I remember my mum saying, because women are ruthless. Mum just said to me, "Oh, you're not a bad man now, are you?" I was like, rah. So I got on that plane with my uncle to do that. So when I come back from seeing everything in Ghana, I just thought, okay, I'm gonna find a passion. Then I started going to the gym, meeting different people. Let me go uni. Went uni. Then I had like different kind of people, and I had similar people who were from the streets, like, but from different parts of the UK.
Mhm.
And then it was just a thing like, raw. Man can actually do bigger and better things, and inspire the younger generation. That's why. So I'm thinking, yeah, man, if you can be on the roads and try to put yourself in a better position and still be street smart. I'm not saying that, all right, cool, like fully forget everything, but always be aware of what your surroundings are, and be aware with who's giving you that good energy, who's gonna bring you that vibe. I always say to myself that, is my brethren gonna bring me a business plan? Is my brethren gonna put me in a better position? Because if not, you're not my brethren anymore. I gotta keep it moving. Can
Mm.
still be friends, but I can't be around you.
Mm.
That's literally it. And I think that's happened with a lot of people.
Literally, I'll just say to them, you could either learn the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah.
So if you want the easy way, then start thinking about no shortcuts and start taking the long road and just have a easier life. But then again, with certain bits of that, I think the whole uni and school sort of thing kind of suppresses you into a working sort of mindset.
mm,
So with me, I kind of do think coming away from that or is not a bad thing at all. Like, you should be able to. Like, I went college and went to go uni, and then it lasted like 2-3 months, and then the uni messed up certain subjects, so I didn't never go to that subject. But there were certain little bits of that where it was like, okay, cool, like maybe uni's not for me. Do you get what I mean? So I just
Mm.
turn out, and now obviously moving forward, I don't think I'm in the worst position in the world. Like,
mm,
whereas back then you would have felt like you was in the worst position in the world because you're not like any of these other people making all this money. So it's literally, you gotta pick what you want. You really are alive.
mm,
And if you know it's something that's expensive, that expensive sort of mind state and lifestyle, then you got to build credit, man. You gotta have credit to start living that sort of lifestyle. So what's all this false money?
mm,
So you've already failed
mm,
by going down there. So what's
Yeah.
the point? That's literally it. So just tell you exactly like it is. Because all it is a lot of people will sugarcoat for time, or because you're like the
mm,
more on it one out of the two, they're scared to be like, oh, bro, I didn't think you should do that, you know? Like, and that's literally it. But
Mm.
if you lot was so comfortable, if that person is not comfortable enough to even say that to you, he's not even your brethren.
for
Mm.
real.
So what's the point? You're doing all of this just because you want to be a part of something that's not
Mm.
even really there. Like, it's just dead. Literally.
What I'd say is probably similar to him in it, yeah. Like, but at the same time, it's like everything ain't for everyone, innit? So you can tell a youth to stay in school and he can grow up to be rock. You know what I'm saying? And just do the 9 to 5 thing and nothing come of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you won't get that life experience. You understand? But all I'd ever tell a youth is just, you know what? Like they say, find something, you stick to it. You understand? Car. Anything that is worthwhile will never ever come easy. You understand? And anything that comes fast will go out of your life just as quick. You understand?
Mm.
Yeah. And if you think that's a lie, you can go and learn for yourself, innit? That's
Mm.
really what there is to it. And like you saying as well, yeah, a lot of outsiders show you more love than your circle, innit? So it's like people hate because you lot have come from the same place, you've had the same amount of time. but somehow you've managed to do more with yourself in that space of time than they have, innit? I've got a couple brethrens that man's been brethrens with these like over 20 years, innit? And it's like we'll chill and nothing like any link up will never ever like be a waste of time, innit? So if we're chilling, we're talking business ideas, talking music ventures, talking whatever, you understand. It's not always about reload this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like so the right people around you will always want to see you shine, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I'm down or whatever, my man always get man like, yo, bro, like pattern up. I'm like, you can do this, cuz da da da. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they even waste your time worrying or doubting yourself, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause if you doubt yourself, you've already lost your battle, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah, man. And when you want to do something as a youth, you lot could probably relate to this. Like when like man used to want to do football as a youth, but my mum used to just scream, read your book. I'm like, nah, I'm like, man wanna go football training, man's got training now, read your book. I'm thinking, bro, what you doing? And then obviously when I
Yeah,
jumped on the
that's
fighting thing and she see that man's on smoke and that, what club do you want to sign up to? Da-da-da. I'm thinking, like you've changed your tune real quick. But parents grow and learn as well.
yeah,
But then again, you still read your books, no?
yeah,
So still going
Yeah,
forward,
because that
now
wooden
you
spoon
because
was
the way
over my
you
head.
speak is
Yeah.
better than I speak. You get
yeah.
what I
Yeah,
mean? So you
yeah,
read your books.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I had no
So at the
choice.
end of it, yeah,
That's
it's
it,
good.
yeah.
But at the end of it, it's good
Mm,
though, man. That's all
literally.
you gotta realize
Mm.
is the half the time your parents are telling. Well, 90% of the time your parents are actually telling you the truth. Like it's
They'll
exactly
clock your
what it
snakes
is.
before you do as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally half the
100%.
time.
Yeah, man.
They can read energy, everything,
Mm,
man. You just gotta be pure, man. Wherever you go, just be pure and be you. And
genuine. Yeah.
like in something legitimate, you want to stand out in it,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm,
But this is what the whole game's kind of fucked because it's like as a rapper, you're taught to stand out, but you're baiting yourself out. You get what I'm saying? And then if you're an individual on the roads and you're blending in, buying cheap whips, buying whatever, you ain't ever getting stopped. You're good, like you looked off, like you now you're thinking smart, innit? So if you want to be a part of that life, at least think smart, like yeah. But it's just dumb to even be a part of it, like because literally it's a dead end, man. You're always gonna try and find a way to climb over that barrier right at the end to then start doing the normal stuff. When are you gonna settle down and have a family and things like this? If you're concentrating on, I gotta get my man done, rah, 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 or I need to go and make 10 bags by next week because I gotta pay my man back because I lost this last week. It's a never
Never-ending
ending
cycle.
cycle. Yeah, literally.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I've definitely
So
learned a lot from you guys, and it's nice that you wanted to come on and open up about this stuff and actually tell people, what you've been through and how you kind of came out of it or how what you're trying to make out of yourselves. You clearly weren't handed a guide on a plate and you
yeah.
had to kind of work things out yourself with the help of your role models, and obviously you have amazing parents and brothers and stuff and people around you. So yeah, it was amazing to speak to you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. There will be some links in the description box below for some mentoring charities, for some organizations that are always willing to help people who are struggling with the same kind of issues that these boys have spoken about. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, there will be some Black-owned businesses promoted at the end of this episode, so make sure you guys follow up and support. And I will see you guys in the next episode.